how do you get to the point where you're broke and sleeping in your car in negative 40-degree weather?
Yeah, I was like, no matter what, I am going to make it in this career as a photographer. And I started to photograph and shoot and try and get published in every magazine I could, and newspapers, whoever would have my work, I would write articles for people. And it wasn't enough. I mean, photography is expensive, to buy the equipment and to travel and to go to locations and to live there on the land. And I went back to Baffin Island and photographed bowhead whales and walrus, and it was just an expensive pursuit, and I didn't understand the business. I had no business sense. I didn't know you had to make more than you were spending. I mean, some basic economics, and all this, before you know it, you're broke. But it didn't bother me. I kept finding ways to stay out there.
What was involved with being a tundra buggy driver?
I had to get creative in finding ways to stay out there on the land, to be around the animals and the species that I wanted to photograph. So I thought, hey, I can't afford to pay the $160 a day to go be on a tundra buggy photographing bears. So I thought, hey, I have a biology degree. I worked on polar bears as a biologist, helping other biologists, and I thought if I could become a tundra buggy guide, I'm going to be out there all the time. So sure enough, they accepted my job application, and now I'm a tundra buggy driver. I'm driving around these big tundra buggies with anywhere from 10 to 50 people on the machine with me, entertaining them, teaching them about bears. But every time a bear showed up, I would, it wasn't as if I had the same privileges of photographing as a paying client, but I still got to shoot. And sure enough, lo and behold, one day I was on the buggy with Tom Walker, who's an amazing, he'd done some work for National Geographic, but an amazing wildlife photographer. Tom Mangelson was one of the most famous wildlife photographers in the world. And one night they want to see my pictures, and I'm showing them my polar bear stuff that I've been collecting over the years as a biologist, being out there. And they're like, this is some of the best stuff we've ever seen. I'm like, huh, really? And they were like, keep going, you're doing great. And so that was just that affirmation again, that little bumps along the way. That's why I mentor and encourage almost everybody I meet who are chasing a dream. Just give them little bumps, and it means a lot.
At what point did you realize you no longer had to take jobs on the side?
Still do. I still do jobs on the side, but no.
I mean, but the photographs could sustain you if you wanted.
I think it was probably, I had been at it for maybe 5 or 6 years, and I was starting to make, I was at that point spending 60 grand a year, but making 70 grand a year. And I was like, I'm making it. And then, by the next year I was making 100 grand a year and spending 60 grand a year. And that was at that point where I got mentored by Flip Nicklin from National Geographic and Joel Sartori from National Geographic. They took me under their wing.
One of which you first wrote to when you were, I think, 17.
I wrote Flip Nicklin. My mom helped me write him a letter when I was 17 years old and explained, and I probably get 5 letters a day right now saying the exact same thing. I follow your work. This is my dream. This is who I want to help become. What can you help me with this journey? And he never wrote me back. And I was pretty devastated. And all of a sudden I found out that he was working filming polar bears, photographing polar bears for National Geographic. And I said to everybody, I don't care what happens, you must make Flip Nicklin and I come together on this thing. I was a tundra buggy driver, and there he is. I'm in my tundra buggy driving, I'm working, I got my guests on board, and all of a sudden a tundra buggy pulls up and it's Flip Nicklin. And he's like, hey, it's Flip, and here you're looking for me. I'm just like, and he goes, let's go have dinner tonight, let's talk. And so we talked, and it was great. And then,
no way.
Yeah, and so I was just sitting there like, my eyes are this big, and I'm just like, I'm 27, 28 years old now. I'm just like, I can't believe this is happening. And I was just very proud. And then all of a sudden, it was very interesting that his tundra buggy broke down the next day. And the company I was working with said, sorry, Flip, your machine's done and we don't know what to do, but you're out. We can't get you another machine. And Flip's like, but I'm on assignment for National Geographic. And I said, give me that piece of junk little machine over there. Let's get it running, a different machine, a tundra buggy. And I said, I will come off the clock, I will guide Flip for free, and I will take him out for his week to fulfill his contract. And so we did, and off we went together. And for 1 week, he just told me, I just drilled him with questions, and he just said he was enjoying the moment, and I just asked him thousands of questions, and I helped him and got him in position and helped him get his shots. And all of a sudden, here I am with my mentor, my hero, on a National Geographic assignment, helping him. And I'm even shooting behind the scenes for him and stuff like that. And we just had an incredible time together. And he said, someday I'm going to help you because you've got the drive, the passion, the commitment, the work ethic, and I can help you with the final stages to get there as a photographer. And he fulfilled his offer 2 years later.
Really?
Yeah. He just called my wife and I at the time and said, why don't you move down to Whidbey Island in Coupeville near Seattle. Move in with me. I won't pay you, but I'll teach you everything I know, and I'll help you get into National Geographic. And he did.
Why did he do it?
I think he did it because I think at some point in your journey of life, you get to be so good at what you do, and you've reached the pinnacle of your career. And I think in most of the great people I've met, they always ask themselves, how do I give back? And in this case, he saw somebody who had the potential to go all the way and to carry on the torch of doing good journalism, good conservation work, and good storytelling. And I think he just thought it was a good investment of his time.